Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to get unstuck and shift to your desired parallel reality. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of our subscribers that said, Tom, I've been watching your videos on shifting to alternative or parallel realities, but I'm feeling stuck. And I'm feeling stuck in my current reality. And I was just wondering if you could talk about that, if you could unpack that. Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. Here's the thing about shifting realities. It seems so real, right? The current reality we're in, it seems so real, and we continue to make it real by holding on to it, right? We don't want to let it go. We're trying to hold on to some of it and then shift to the new reality and keep the best of the old and then shift to the new. You've got to let go of the entire old reality, right? And here's the real key to it. It's not about escaping your current reality and then moving to a new one. You've got to totally embrace the current reality, and then you are free to shift. Hear this. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Here's the key to shifting to a parallel or alternative reality. Focus on where you would like to be rather than where you are, right? Embrace where you are. In fact, tell your higher self that it served you. That's why you're in that current reality, but now you're choosing a new one. You're making a conscious decision that will then get passed on to your subconscious as you persist in that decision. Remember, it's not about effort. Right? We're shifting realities all the time. Every time we open our eyes and close them, we're shifting realities. We just don't realize it, right? And we expect to be, when we open our eyes, we expect to be in that current 3D reality. Hear this, right? So put your attention on where you would like to go rather than the reality you want to escape from. That's the key, right? The more you resist, the more you complain about the current reality, the more you talk about it, the more you put your attention on the current reality, the more you write about it, right? The more real it gets and the more you identify with it, right? Everything is about identifying with it, right? The reason you're in this current reality is because you identify with it. The concept of yourself in the world is identified with that reality. You've got to shift your concept of the reality that you want to associate with. And that's changing the concept of yourself. Remember, when you move to a new reality, you move to a new version of yourself, right? Those old beliefs no longer are applicable. You might still see remnants of them, but they're no longer your life. They're no longer part of you. Hear this, right? You always get what you focus on, put your attention on, and what you identify with, always, right? You have a choice in each moment of now. So let's unpack this a little bit more. Parallel alternative realities are states of consciousness, conditioned awareness of your I am. That's what those alternative realities are, the conditioned awareness, right? But remember, before you shift, you're shifting to that dimensionally larger reality, where you're shifting to that unconditioned awareness. From the unconditioned awareness, you're then conditioning reality again and choosing your new reality. Hear this, right? So you're moving. That's what makes it, you're able to do it. Otherwise, what you're trying to do is just trying to go directly from an unwanted reality to a desired reality. You've got to move, you've got to accept this current reality and then naturally move within, identify with your higher self, with that dimensionally larger you, right, with that God in you, and then move to your new choice. That's how it's done, right? Infinite, remember, they're infinite in number. They're all happening right now. In fact, they've already happened. And as soon as you shift to that new reality, you don't remember that you've already lived it. And you're going to live it again as if it's the first time. That's big, right? In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. This is what Jesus told us. Jesus was telling us about shifting realities. In my Father's house are many mansions, or in my version of the Bible, the NASB, it says dwelling places. There are many dwelling places. There are many alternative realities. That's what Jesus was talking about. right? And he says, if it were not so, I wouldn't have told you. So 2,000 years ago, they were telling us that we shift realities, that we're able to do this, right? My Father's house, that's ultimate reality. That's everything. That's all that is. That's the all in all. That's everything that is and everything that isn't, right? And so parallel realities, a reality you experience is conceptual based on the conception you have of yourself. Remember, it's all an illusion. You're the illusionist who forgot your illusions. You're the magician who forgot your tricks, right? The 3D world are all tricks, are all illusions, right? And so the key to moving to higher mansions, right, as Jesus talked about, or realities, is having complete dominion over your current reality. Hear this. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like 3D reality has a control on you, right? If you're feeling you're at the mercy of that current reality, you can't move. You've got to accept it, and then when you accept it, now you have complete dominion over it. That's the beautiful thing. Doesn't mean you're stuck with it, right? It means you accept that you were created it, and now you're making a new choice, right? Current reality, acceptance and surrender to what is, right? Again, you're not trying to run away from what is, right? So let's unpack this a little bit more. The prerequisite to shifting realities, all that God is, you are. The prerequisite is that knowing that everything that God is, you are. You are made in God's image. That God is within you and you are within God. You move and you live and you breathe within God, right? Unlimited, perfect, and divine. I don't care if it's an illness that you want to heal, right? Remember, you don't heal anything. You just move to a version of yourself that's healthy, right? And maybe you're struggling financially. Well, it's not that you're curing the financial situation. You're moving to a version of yourself that's wealthy, that's conscious of that inner wealth, right? And the outer wealth, right? This is big. Jesus said, has it not been written in law, I said you are gods? He was referring to the Old Testament. In Psalms 82:6, I said you are gods, and all of you are sons of the Most High. Jesus was saying it here, right? When he was questioned, when they were going to stone him. If you remember the Bible, they were going to stone him, right? And he was saying, hasn't it been written in your law, I said you are gods, right? Jesus was claiming to be the Son of God because he is, and you are too, right? Therefore, when you completely identify with the reality and where your desire is manifested, that becomes your new reality and the new version of yourself, right? When you fully identify with that new reality, where your desire already is manifested, right? That becomes your new reality, and it also becomes the new version of yourself, right? Your old limiting beliefs are no longer a part of who you are. You might see them. Any remnants of the old reality and the old version of yourself is like a dream now, right? You might see it, but that's just a dream. This is so powerful. So nothing is as it seems, right? No reality is final. The real world is what you decide it to be. Hear this. The visible world that you can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell with your 3D senses is only 0.00001% of reality, of ultimate reality, right? In terms of your perception of it, right? It's all energy behind it, but you're perceiving 0.0001%. But even that 0.0001% is energy. Do you hear this, right? What's more, you can choose from an infinite number of realities to experience. It makes no sense to look outside yourself in the visible world of that 0.0001% for the answers. It makes no sense to struggle, to contemplate, to move around effects. Think of the insanity. We get all worked up and all worried about things in the 3D world, and it makes no sense. Everything's happening within us. Wow, that's powerful, right? Every conceivable reality and version of yourself exists within you. Exists within you. If you can think of it, you can imagine it, you can be it, and you can live it. Remember, there's a part of you already being that person you want to be, already occupying the reality you desire. The real you is whole, complete, and infinite. Wow, that's an unpacking. So You can't hold on to any part of your current reality and shift to the new version of yourself and occupy the desired parallel reality. That's what's happening. You're trying to hang on to parts of it that you judge as good, right? And then the ones that you judge as bad, you want to let go and have that as part of your new reality. Let it all go. Occupy that new reality where it's all good. Right? It's all what you want. Choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. This is what also Jesus said, right? And choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. What are they talking about here? What are the ancients talking about? They're saying choose what reality, what state of consciousness you want to occupy. What reality do you want to occupy, right? Which reality do you believe to occupy? One of lack, debt, worry, and limitation, or one of total and absolute unlimitedness, right? You get to choose. The ancients told us here, right? A life of health, wealth, and happiness and intention is an intention and a choice, right? It's not luck. It's not something only for the chosen few. It's simply an intention and a choice. Think of that, right? We just believe. There's been these mass beliefs, right? This beliefs among the mass of people, that how we grew up, right? That these beliefs that wealth, health, and happiness you have to earn, right? You have to be worthy of it, right? You have to work towards it. No, we were born with it, and then we lost our consciousness of it, right? Remember, the 3D world, what you believe is reality is an illusion. It's one big magic trick, right? You're the magician who forgot your magic, right? I think it was said in Neil Donald Walsh through Conversations with God said that, right? Now you can reclaim it, right? You're the illusionist who forgot your illusions, right? You're in a fun house looking in the fun mirrors going, what is going on here, right? Right? So your nature is God. Well-being is natural. Abundance is natural. Joy is natural. Your nature or natural is God, right? Manifesting and having your desires is natural, right? When you align with that higher reality, you're aligning with God. You're aligning with what's natural, right? With what's nature or what's natural, right? Ultimate reality is the only truth, right? Everything else is our limiting beliefs. Everything else is limiting beliefs. The key steps then, I've outlined the key steps to shifting realities in more detail in other videos. I just want to outline them here. Total acceptance and love of your current reality, right? You've got to be there first. Then move to that zero resistance state, right? Get into that alpha state, right, in your meditation, and then move to that zero state of resistance, right? Where you're not attaching to your new reality yet, just moving to a neutral place of your I amness, of that Christ within you, right? Be still and know you are God. That's the 0-point meditation, right? Relax and let go. Then visualize, see your new state, see that new version of yourself, imagine it, and then occupy your new reality in the new version of yourself. Judge nothing, right? That really is how to get unstuck and shift to your desired parallel reality. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen, our website at tomkaren.com or besomethingwonderful.com, or write me to say hello at info@besomethingwonderful.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, this is Tom with great love. See you soon.